right, so welcome to Push Moments with the Othman. And you see, the funny thing was that the last episode we had was in April 2019. Can you believe that? Now, and the funny thing was that it was a really, really, really touching episode. I recorded it without notes. I didn't even prepare for it. I just came and I just spoke from my heart, right? And the funny thing is that if you haven't listened to it, right, guys, I suggest you go ahead and listen to it. So it's episode 14 of Push Moments. It was really, really touching. And one of the things that that particular episode was about was on hope, and I talked about how hope. But come to think of it, that message was more for me because now, in preparing this particular episode, when I was listening to it, I was like, whoa, can you imagine? Like, I couldn't believe that, I was one that said that. And I more or less, I couldn't even believe that came from, deep, deep down, right? So guess what, guys? Yeah, we're back and we're even better. And I'm sure you're wondering, what do I mean by we're better? Right? So what do I mean by we're better? Because I said, we're back and better. Truth is, first and foremost, right? Important thing is that we're back, right? Woohoo! Welcome back, right? So, and when I say we're better, is because we've been able to now expand the entire podcast experience, right? So basically what I'm doing now is I am recording the podcast, but at the same time, right, I'm going live on Facebook so that people on Facebook can also benefit from seeing me record the podcast live. And here's the amazing thing about it is that even, when we finish the podcast, so for every podcast episode, when I finish teaching, what's going to happen is I'm going to give a bit of time for people that are on Facebook to have Q&A sessions so that we can have Q&A sessions. They can ask questions for whatever it is that they need clarification about on the podcast, right? And what else? So it's going to be going live on the Push Nation Facebook group. So that's basically, why I said it's better, because now the people on the Push Nation Facebook group can see directly behind the scenes of all the entire workings of the podcast recording. Isn't that great? Now, here's another amazing addition to that. Another amazing addition to that is that the video, right, we will now upload the video on Facebook, or rather, so on YouTube, so that you can watch it at any time, right? So this is that's why I said it's back. Push Moment is back. It's better. Is loaded. And guess what, guys? We're going to be having interviews. I'm going to be interviewing enough people that have, passed through something about push, and they'll tell us their own perspective about the entire Push Nation philosophy, the entire push philosophy, right? And so, like I said, we're putting the recordings on YouTube. So, woohoo! You can get to watch it over and over and over and over and again, right? So, without further ado, right? I would like to introduce myself, because I know that there are a lot of people that, this might be your first time of listening to me. This might be your first time of hearing me speak. This might be your first time of interacting with me, right? So my name is Othman Abdul Rashid. I am also known as the Othman. So I am the Othman of the Push Nation. I am the Grand Commander of the Push Nation, right? So, and what's this whole Push Nation about? I'm sure you'll be wondering. So I'll tell you guys in a bit. Now, in 2018, I wrote a book, Push, Propel Yourself to Someplace Higher. And for some reason, that word just fell on me, right? Push. I don't know how, but, it was a word that kept, ringing in my head. And then I said, you know what? Why not? Let's go with it. So propel yourself to someplace higher. I've always been passionate about helping people achieve their greatest potential. I've always been passionate about helping people be the best versions of themselves, right? So I'm an optimist, right? So, and that's why I said, okay, you know what? Let me use my own life stories, because what I realized is that a lot of times, especially we Nigerians, a lot of times when we read books and we see Harvard study, Cambridge study, some university study, we sort of zone out. We start feeling that this one is not for me because it's not relatable. So that's why I wrote Push using my own example. And guys, guess what? I'm an ordinary guy just trying to live an extraordinary life, right? And so my own thought pattern is that if I can do it, you can do it also, and everybody else can do it, right? So before we even go, too deep into it, I'll tell you guys a bit of how my 2019 was. Just a brief, brief take of how 2019 was. And at the beginning of 2019, or rather towards the end of 2018 into 2019, I joined the John Maxwell Team. And the John Maxwell Team is the biggest leadership development organization in the world, right? And so why did I join the John Maxwell Team? I've always been passionate about people, human behavior, how do people connect, how people become the best versions of themselves, how people, perform the best way they can perform, right? And so when I kept thinking about human performance, how to grow and all that, I realized that leadership is key. So leadership is the key to everything because, and as John Maxwell also says, right, everything rises and falls on leadership. And so I realized that leadership was amazing. And I said, you know what? I want to know what's this whole leadership about. So I started Googling, I started searching, and I realized that every time I search for the word leadership, one particular name comes up, and that's John Maxwell. And I was like, you know what? This is a sign. So it means that the John Maxwell Team is, the best leadership development team ever. So if I want to help people improve their leadership, it only makes sense to align with the best, right? Now, in that same John Maxwell Team, so there's a curriculum, right, that helps you get in touch with your inner self, right? And it's called the Maxwell Disc Personality Indicator Assessment. And in same beginning of 2019, I became a certified behavioral analysis consultant. And forget all the big English. Basically, what it means is that I can help you get in touch with your inner self, really understand, your triggers, really understand the things that make you stand out, your strengths, your weaknesses, your growth areas. And then especially when it comes to leadership, what are those things that you need to do to improve your leadership? What are those things that you need to do to become a better leader? So basically, when I did that, when I became certified, it was amazing. And in 2019, I worked with 38 people. One-on-one, they took the assessment, we did the debrief, and trust me, it was amazing. Like meeting people with different personality types, with different inclinations, with different ideologies, with different thought patterns. Ooh, it was really mind-blowing, right? And then so, 2019 started off on a good note, right? It was amazing. So much was happening. I was, impacting people's lives and all that. And, I had started this Push Nation, Push Moments podcast. There was momentum. And I was building on that momentum. And I felt like, what other platforms do I need to be able to spread this message of goodwill, this message of hope? And I realized that TEDx platform was one of the, one of the most popular, great platforms, right? And I was blessed to be able to speak at TEDx Murtala Square. Woo! That was a dream come true, guys. Like, it was amazing. If you haven't watched it, you can watch it, check it on YouTube. Just search for my name, Othman Abdurrashid TEDx. The topic of my discussion was on courage. So I talked about how you can develop courage, how you can become more courageous. Not wanting to stop there, one of my dreams of 2019 was to act in a movie or, just act. because I've always wanted to be an actor, right? Growing up, I used to do voiceovers. I used to, you know, just generally just goof around, you know, with camera and all that. And so part of my dreams of 2019 was to act. And then guess what? My friend now calls me out of the blues, Kasim Brimer, and he says, bro, I have a part for you. Like this part is just you. And you know, it was for YAWA Skits. So if you've heard of YAWA Skits, go to YouTube, type it, YAWA Skits. I think it was episode 12. So I acted in episode 12. And just the part that I act, which is crazy, right? I acted the part of like an arm robber with guns and everything. I know a lot of people that saw the skit. You know, later they came to me and they were like, "Bro, is that you?" I was like, "Yeah, that's me." Right? It was hilarious, and it was like an amazing experience. Now, here's the funny thing. I tell you guys, right? I think I'm a natural born actor because the producer was like, he was like, man, bro, you're a one take guy. I was like, oh, what does that mean? What does a one take guy mean? So basically, it just means that um, I didn't have to repeat my lines. I didn't have to repeat my shots. Like, you know, they just did one take and that was it, which was really amazing. And I was proud of that. So YAWA Skits, episode 12, check it out. And let me know what you think. Just, you know, you can send me an email, othman@thepushnation.com. Send me an email. Let me know what you think and, you know, how hilarious you found it, right? And then the culmination of everything in 2019, you know, to me, I feel 2019 um, was the year of blessings. 2019 was the year that I would say all my dreams came true. Like, and the culmination of that was the birth of my twins. Alhamdulillah, it was. Oof. So I think that at the beginning of 2019, when we found out, you know, that they were coming, I was a bit scared. You know, I didn't want to do anything, and I think that was one of the reasons why I even stopped this podcast. Like I was trying to conserve my energy and use up all my energy to just pray for their safe arrival. It was a really tense period of my life, right? And so it's September 22nd, 2019. You know, the twins were born. Bilal, and we named them Bilal and Khadija. So Bilal Ayman and Khadija Iman. MashaAllah. It was so being a father, oof, that was an experience that, you know, no matter how much, you know, you try to read books, you try to prepare, you try to, you know, think about it, nothing prepares you for that. And here's the funny thing. These guys decided to come early. Can you imagine? Like, so they were supposed the EDD, right? The doctor says, okay, you know, most likely anything from 29th, we'll start expecting them. And so that particular day, we actually went to eat pizza in Kano. So Mrs. Awesome and I went to eat pizza. After eating pizza, so we went to see the doctor, and the doctor says, guy, you are contracting. These babies need to come out ASAP. And you know, my parents weren't there, her parents weren't there, there was nobody, it was just us. And so we sat, you know, we checked into the hospital, and you know, when they came down morning to wheel her to the delivery room, you won't believe what happened. So the doctor was like, okay, so let's go. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's go time, it's go time. In my confusion, guess what I did? I stood up, wore my shoes, entered into the bathroom, took my toothbrush, put toothpaste on it. And my wife and the doctor were looking at me like, dude, what's wrong with you? I was like, oh no, I want to brush my teeth. And she's like, really? Really? At this time, all you can think about is to brush your teeth? I, I don't even know why I did that. Maybe you know, to sort of to give myself an excuse. Maybe I didn't want them to come and meet their dad with a smelly mouth, right? I don't know, you know. So I ran into the theater, and then you know, I was standing, I was watching behind a door, and I saw when they brought out the first baby. Put held the first baby out, and the first baby to come out was Bilal. So they held Bilal upside down, cut the umbilical cord, dropped him. They brought out the second one. I was like, oh my God, my hands started shaking. I was so scared. I was so excited. And I guess what the nurse did? She just cleaned them, wrapped them up, and then just came and brought them to me and dropped them and walked back into the theater. And I was just there holding two babies. And I'm like, wait, who told you I'm qualified to hold babies? And guess what? The funny thing is that before then, I'd never held, I never hold newborns. Nothing. There's nothing you say that will make me hold newborn. I wait till they're maybe like 5, 6 months, but then here I was holding two newborn babies. So it was an amazing journey. And then we went back. I think we stayed in the hospital for about 5 days. Then we went home, and it was really amazing. Them waking up at night, feeding, everything, the whole diaper change, everything was super exciting. And luckily, I had waited in 2019. I didn't take my leave, so I waited and took my leave at that time. So I was at home for a whole month. Like I was just there. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go out. I was just there doing daddy duty. I remember everybody was telling me that, guy, you burn out. Oh, better be relaxing. But once any baby cries, I'll just run. But I think it was just part of the excitement, right? And then I think the next thing that happened was, or rather, it wasn't the next thing, but it was still part of my 2019 journey. So I added weight. Ah, my God. Um, so I think I stopped working out because if any of you follow me on Instagram, you know that I run quite a bit. And so in 2019, I stopped running most of the time. It was like I was trying to conserve my energy for the babies to come. Like I was just waiting, and I was just like, don't use too much energy. Let the baby just come and let them just be fine. So, and then I was eating, I think it was comfort eating. So I think it was more like I was under tension and I couldn't process it. So I just started eating a lot. Um, Needless to say, at the end of 2019, I weighed a whooping 100 kg. Now, for some people, that might not be much. But for me, that was much because I've always been like 85, 87. And knowing that I'm a bit athletic, so I do taekwondo, polo. So, adding that much with 15 kg was, woof. Anyways, that's how 2019 ended. I stopped just doing everything. I stopped this podcast. It's like I just wanted to focus my whole brain and just wait until the babies came. And alhamdulillah, they came and they're fine. So, it's been an amazing journey. And so what next? And then, so we entered into 2020. Like I said, I entered into 2020 weighing 100 kg. But 2020, I was pumped. I felt like, or rather, I still feel like 2020 is that year that we're going to make things happen. A lot of things are going to happen. It's a blessed year. And so that's why I started 2020 by writing the goal achieving book. If you haven't read it, if you haven't downloaded it, head up to my website, www.theothman.com. That's TheOthman.com. Theothman.com. You'll see a tab on goal achieving. Just put your email there and I'll send you your copy. It's an amazing book. Most of the people that have read it are like, oh my God, they had to rewrite their goals because of reading Goal Achieving. So it's an amazing book. And then, so for 2020, what I'm really focusing on is to help people really achieve those goals, to help people beat procrastination, to help people take action, to help people overcome those limiting beliefs, really, and to gain clarity. So I decided to streamline myself and say, you know what, I'll just offer these opportunities in minute ways. So two things, which the first one is the push mentoring program, which we started at the beginning of February. It's where we help you really just overcome that procrastination, to help you even set your goals, to help you even have clarity about your goals, about your purpose, your vision in life, and then to be able to step out of your comfort zone, face your terror barrier, hands-on and, just make things happen, right? And then my signature course from 2019, I created a signature course called the Leader Accelerator Program. And so the tagline that I have for that course right now is, what does a lawyer, an army officer, a doctor, a CEO, and a fashion mogul have in common? Don't worry, you don't have to guess. It's the Leader Accelerator Program. So we have people that, from diverse walks of life, that came together, and we took the 6 weeks Leader Accelerator Program course. So I'm bringing it back in 2020. It's going to be bigger, better, fully loaded, right? And so that's one of the things we're working on in 2020. Another thing that I'm working on is I realized that the world needs all of us rich. And when I talk about rich, I'm not talking about just financial rich, but I'm talking about how can you really just live a fulfilled life, right? So, do you have a rich relationship with your family? Do you have a rich relationship with, friends? What kind of goals are you setting? Are you persistent in your goals? So 2019, we had, gone deep into the study of the book, Think and Grow Rich. I'm bringing it back in 2020, guys. And, we're going to go deep into the study of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is going to be super amazing. And so that's what 2019 was, and that's sort of like the outlook for 2020. So this Push Moments podcast is going to be every Wednesday at 9 p.m. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live on Facebook so that people can, see the whole process of recording this podcast. And then at the end of it, they can ask their questions. So whatever questions that they have, I can answer those questions. And then when I answer those questions, other people that are not live, they can learn from the questions and also get answers and clarity from it. And then at the end of that, we'll upload the voice recording onto the podcast platform. And also the video is now going to go on YouTube as well, like I said earlier on. So if you're an audio visual kind of person, you can head over to YouTube and watch. If you are more just an audio person, you can listen to the podcast as you drive, as you do anything, right? So it's an amazing opportunity. We're going to do so much together. I really look forward to adding so much value to you guys to really help you. And so next episode, what we're really going to is, what I realize is that growth is key. Growth is everything. So I've seen the tremendous effect that growing has had on my life. I've seen the tremendous effect that just, generally having a heightened level of awareness has had in my life. Woohoo! Yes. So Abdullah says we're back. Yes, we're back. Right. So growth is amazing, is what we have. And that's why, and just being part of the John Maxwell team, I felt like the most amazing thing that we can start working on is our growth. And so I'll take us through the 15 invaluable laws of growth. We'll treat one law a week. I'll do like a brief teaching, and then we'll have a Q&A session where you can ask all your questions, and we'll gain clarity about it. And then to take us for 15 weeks. And after that, we'll jump into something else. But, before then, stay tuned and really tune in. If you're not following us in the Push Nation group, I suggest you join, because there's so much juicy things coming your way. All the courses that I'm going to do, you might be able to get some free courses. You can also get discounts on other courses that I'm going to do. So really, you should join the Push Nation Facebook group. And so I think that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope it gave you, if you had seen me for the first time, I hope it gave you a bit of inclination on who I am, what I do, what I stand for, and generally just what it is. So I think because today is just introduction, there's really no much gist like that. We're not going to ask. I don't think there's going to be any Q&A sessions for today. So I just wanted to introduce myself, tell you guys that we're going on this journey of 2020 together, 2020 and beyond. I'm going to be here. I'm going to add as much value as I can to you. I'm going to help you and hold your hand to the end. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're listening, share it. Don't hesitate to share it. You can follow me on Instagram. I am the Othman. You can also follow us at the Push Nation on Instagram as well. And you can check out my website, www.theothman.com. Thank you guys for joining, and God bless.